Today is the 17th of February of 2003, and we're in the home of Max Hosler, 409 Elm Street in Walmigo, Kansas. I am Dean Schoengert, and I will be interviewing Max about his experiences of the war. Max, where were you when you were drafted?
Well, I was living in Concordia at that time, working for a chain store in the grocery business.
Ah. Were you out of high school already?
Oh yes. Yes, I was married and had a child.
Well, you were.
Yeah. That's the reason why I was so late getting in.
You were born in January 14th, 1920, so
Yeah.
you're like 83 years old now?
Yes.
I see.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
83 years young.
That's the way to put it, sir. So, once you were drafted, where did you go for your induction?
Port Leavenworth. And then from there we went to outside of Abilene, Texas, medical department.
What do you remember about the induction experience?
Well,
Is that kind of scary, or?
no, not then. By that time, I actually wanted to get in there. All my friends were in already, and I figured about the time I served. So it was just routine.
That's where you got your first haircut and
Oh, not necessarily.
and your uniform, first uniform.
Yes. Yes.
How'd you get from there to Texas?
Train.
By a train,
Train.
like a troop train, or?
I think it was a troop train by then. Yeah.
Did you, when you were on the train? How did you? It must have taken several days, didn't it?
Yeah. It did. But we just had to tolerate it. We knew it was going.
So, what camp was it in Texas?
Oh, I can't think of it at the moment.
Can you remember the town?
Right outside of Abilene.
Near Abilene, Texas?
Yes. Yes.
So.
And then from there we went to Camp Lachey outside of New Orleans.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So about how long were you in Texas, though?
I was down there about a year.
Whole year?
And then down to Camp Lachey about 6 months. We was getting ready to go overseas by then. We were studying mosquitoes, malaria control.
All this time?
Yeah.
That's what were you already assigned to a unit, or
No,
were you training with any same group of men all the time, or different?
It was Camp Barkley, Texas. There I was in the medics. We were training as medics, but by the time we went outside of in Camp Lachey, we were designated to study malaria and mosquitoes, and because we were going to malaria control was our business.
Malaria control.
Yes.
Were you had you had any training in this at all, or were you in?
No, not until we got there. And
is this did you select that service, or were you assigned to it?
Yeah, I was assigned to it. Yeah. Well, I was a caddyman there. I ended up a caddyman in Camp Barkley, and then that it broke up, and that's when I went into the malaria control unit.
Well, I never heard of such a thing.
Yeah. Well, 11 men, 1 officers, and we had to assign ourselves to different organizations to get fed. And what we did, I was a supply sergeant. We did have about 60 days supply of food in cans and one thing and another. And we got over to Okinawa, and there wasn't any malaria to worry about, but then we did spray the island with airplanes. We'd mix up with DDT in not gasoline, that diesel fuel, and they would spray the island, and you could smell it when they sprayed it. So to kill the mosquitoes.
Yeah. How did you get to the Philippines?
I wasn't in Philippines. No, I was on Okinawa.
Oh.
Well, that took 46 days. We first went to Honolulu, Hawaii, stayed 7 days. Then we went to Inuitok. Then we went down in Palau Islands. We never did know where we was going until after we left our last island. Then they told us where we were going, to Okinawa. We had to go north then. But
same group of men?
Same group.
And were you?
We was on, I thought I was in the Navy by the time I got there. We had 46 days lived on board ship. On one ship.
So, did your group of men, 11 did you say?
11 men and one officer.
And did you have specialties among your 11 men, or you all worked together?
We all worked together, but in our group we had one had studied cook and baker school, went to that, and then we had one that was actually a carpenter. We had one that had been in the infantry, and then we had one that was an engineer. We had different groups of individuals that contributed. That was a composite. But we were available for doing different things.
Did you get called by different units or commanders if they had a mosquito problem, or how was?
No. We loaded that on board the ship. They improvised, and on board the airplane, and they sprayed the island. And then at one time, we had a 4-day with all the dead bodies around in Naha. The rats was having themselves a real time.
Well,
so they were concerned about rat population. So we had a Navy instructor told us the best way to kill rats. So we put out rat poison, and that was different. That will last about a couple 3 weeks.
Naha is a part of.
Naha is the capital city of
Okinawa.
Okinawa. Yeah, and it was pretty well leveled, and there was particles of human beings all over the place.
I see.
Especially when some of the Japanese got up into the cemetery, what they call, they'd hide back in there, scrape out the bodies, and they'd have themselves a view of how to shoot. So it was scary sometimes.
Did you have any trouble on ship getting there? Any danger?
Well, we were attacked by a submarine, and that's where we got that this letter here, approved for star, because that submarine attacked us. Well, we didn't get hit. I forget what kind of ship they were. We went out and got it. So,
how was the food on ship? You spent such a long time on ship.
Very satisfactory. Yep.
So you weren't considered to be in the Navy or the Army, or you were in the...
Well, I was in the Army, actually, but...
Army. Yeah, I see. And you got to Okinawa after the invasion?
Yes. Yeah, we got there in latter part of May. And
What year would that be?
that'd be 45.
45?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And they invaded it in April, April the 1st.
I see.
But we got there afterwards pretty well taken care of.
Did your unit operate the plane, or did you?
No.
You had to get a plane from someplace else, or?
Well, there was 2 airfields. We were bivouacked right in between, Yontan and Yontan Air Base and Kadena.
Mm-hmm.
And the Air Force had that. And they're the ones that took that mixture of DDT, dichlorodimethyltrichloroethane.
Uh-huh. I'm surprised that the airplane had a spray.
They improvised that.
Well, they improvised that?
Yeah.
They didn't have beams, pipes going out wide or something like that?
I think so, underneath there.
Uh-huh.
But you could sure smell it when they went by.
Uh-huh.
So you inhaled some of that DDT. I know damn well. It's strictly illegal now.
Yes. They flew pretty close to the ground, did they?
Yeah.
When they sprayed?
Yeah.
And they didn't make any, they sprayed right over your bivouac area and everywhere. And they sprayed the whole island, probably.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Especially up some ravines or little creeks.
I see.
Where mosquitoes could breed.
Mm-hmm. How did you get your supplies? Your diesel wouldn't be hard to come by, but all your other chemicals you carried with you? Or?
I had, no, I actually drove a truck. We had to go into Naha to get it off of the supply that they unloaded. They'd come in 25-pound concentrated DDT, 25-pound cans. And I'd load about 50 of them on the truck. And then the guy would take and dump it in this diesel fuel.
Like in a 50-gallon barrel or some other
Oh, I could show you, no, I would say 500.
500 gallon, huh?
I don't know what, but I got a picture of it, of them. Mixing it. But I sneaked the camera with me. I've got it here somewhere, but I can't find it now.
Yeah, that's okay.
Here it is. Here it is. I'll show you down here.
Kind of hold it up, put it against your chest. Yeah.
It's so small. See, it's big.
It looks like a house.
Well, there's a shed behind it or in front of it.
Oh, I see. Those are tanks up on top on stilts there. Yes, I see that now.
That's big.
Uh-huh. And you had to, those were filled with diesel?
Yes. Yes.
And then, I see, and then you had to
Carry those.
5-gallon cans up there?
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Dump them in there. And stand and mix it. That's what they were doing.
oh. The DDT was also a liquid?
No, it was powder.
Powder.
Dust.
Dust, uh-huh.
Dust.
Then you could, take the liquid out of those tanks and put it in a truck and take it to the airplane? Is that what you had
No,
to
that was in the air. That was the airfield there. That was on the edge of the airfield. They took care of it. They took care of it. All we did was mix it. And then on the Air Force took care of it.
I see. have any accidents in doing this?
No, not to my knowledge. But we did have to change shoes once a week. We had to change. They knew it was dangerous. We had to change clothes every day. Every day you couldn't wear them 2 days in a row. Every day, and then we took them to an outfit that done laundry. So we were lucky. They knew something was wrong, but they didn't know. They didn't let us know what was. Maybe they knew what was wrong. I don't know.
You once a week you had to just throw away your shoes and get a new pair?
Yep.
My goodness. This wasn't necessarily flammable, was it? Other
No.
than just diesel.
No. No, it was just poison. In fact, I got a picture back here in the States, them digging it up for some reason. And I mean, they got masks on them. And back here, this is way after the war.
Mm-hmm.
Here, DDT laden barrels unearthed for incinerating. I mean, they're masks. And that was, I don't know when it was. In the late 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to wear masks, but we didn't. They didn't. So I don't know.
Well, so did you stay there until the end, till the Japanese? Were you there when the atomic bomb was dropped?
Yes. Yes. So both of them.
You didn't know anything about it until you were
No.
told, huh?
Until we knew something happened, because one night all the guys in the army up there were firing their weapons to celebrate it.
Oh.
And then we knew something happened.
Oh.
And then we found out our officer found out. We had one officer.
Uh-huh. So then how long was it before you came home?
Well, we left home about January. Didn't take it was about 12, 14 days to come home.
Oh.
But it took 46 to get there, because we went here and there and there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they knew where they were sending us for sure. We didn't know where we were going.
Mm-hmm. So your group of 12 men all came out together? And
No, we individually we were discharged. That is, we left because of some of us had more time. I was the second one. The first one left was the first sergeant. I was the second sergeant in charge.
Mm-hmm.
And the others stayed until their time come up. You know, you had certain points for how long you'd been in, and that's the way we left.
Any amusing incidents when you're in Okinawa with the people, or did you?
No, they were in compounds.
Really?
See, I could show you a picture. It says "Stay out." Okinawans off limits. In other words, they had place for the civilians. Now we were supposed to work 8 or 10 civilians, but we didn't have malaria to do it. This up here.
All the civilians were in compounds?
Yeah. And then we actually, the United States fed them, and they got fed. And,
was there still some fighting or shooting while you were there?
No, the Okinawans, they weren't involved. They weren't doing the fighting.
Oh.
They were just fighting on their place, on their land.
So who were in the camps? Was it Okinawans or was it Japanese
No,
soldiers?
Okinawans.
Okinawans.
Okinawans. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But they did have a prisoner camp.
Yes, I see.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Japanese. But I didn't fool around there.
You didn't have any R&Rs any time during all this?
No.
Where did you land when you came back?
I think it was. I was so excited about being home, I didn't kick me.
That's all right. You came.
We left from way up north, Washington, Seattle, Washington, and we came back in Oregon. I do know that. But where we landed, I don't know.
Then how soon did you get out of the service then?
Only just a couple of days. By the time we got, they train went back to Denver, and that's where we discharged from camp or fort somewhere in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
South of Denver.
And where was home then for you?
Well, by then, when I come to Omega here, but then when I had to go, I went back to the same company in Topeka. And then from there I went to Junction City and Salina, and then I ended up down in Ottawa. I was a manager down there, and that's when the guy I used to work for Omega, in here in Omega, he come down and coaxed me back up to Omega, and I was ready to come back by then. And that was in '47. We come back and have been here ever since. Yeah.
Were you married while you were in the service?
Yeah. But things worked out okay.
How has that experience affected your life?
Oh, I don't know. Hard to describe. My wife used to, well, I don't think it's here. She, during the war, she welded glider planes down in Kansas City.
Really?
Yeah. I've got a picture of one of them that she welded. Yeah, it's over there now. Oh, there it is.
Uh-huh.
See, that's the kind. So she did her part.
Now we're talking to Anna Mary Hosler, the wife of Max. And were you married when Max went into the service?
Yes.
Had you been married a long time, or?
We were married in 1940.
1940.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And so, where were you when Max went into the service? Somewhere?
At Concordia. We lived in Concordia.
Concordia. So
From there he went to Kansas
And
City.
from there I went to Kansas City to work. Well, I went to school in Topeka first.
you went to school in Topeka.
Training.
Oh, so you took some training 1st.
Mhm.
What kind of training?
Welding, acetylene welding.
Did you volunteer for this, or how did you get into this?
I just seen an ad in the paper and I didn't know what they were talking about, so I checked it out and decided I'd try it.
And where were you? Were you with a group of
Oh, yes, there was a group. In fact, the group I was in was one of the first group of women that they took into the school for training.
So this was like 1940.
1940, late 41 or 42.
Uh-huh. So how long were you in training?
I can't really remember, but it seems to me like it was like a 3-month course.
Uh-huh. And you ever welded anything before?
No, didn't even know what they were talking about.
Was this acetylene welding with a gas, with a torch?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Well, it must have
It was interesting, challenging.
I bet it was. And then you were assigned to...
Then we were taken in with a group to the aircraft factory in Kansas City, and we had to take a test, and for those who passed it, we were hired.
Oh.
And stayed for the duration.
So how long were you working there?
Basically about 3 years.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
All this time Max was in the service.
Mm-hmm.
And what were you welding?
Gliders.
Gliders?
Mm-hmm. Aircraft.
Glider plane.
They were the gliders that were used in the D-Day in Europe,
Right.
probably?
Right.
Uh-huh. You have a picture of that glider?
Sure do.
Can you hold
Just
it up
for
a little?
chance.
Put it right under your... Yeah, okay, good. Was it was it aluminum that you had to weld, or?
No.
No?
Steel tubing.
So you welded all the steel tubing for
Right.
that plane?
I was on what they called center section, on the jig, on the center section
Yes.
of the glider.
Well, did they have night shifts and day shifts?
Yes. Yes, they did.
Most of the workers were women, or
Oh, no. It was both,
both?
men and women.
Wow. Was it a physically challenging for you, or more mentally challenging?
Well, a little of both.
You had to do some lifting and...
Not too much lifting, no, because we had a crew that come in and set them up.
I see.
And then we did the welding on it.
I see. And the whole plane wasn't there at once. You had a midsection you worked on?
You're
is that-
right. Center section is what I worked on.
Now, how many wells would you have on?
Oh, I have no idea. No idea. A bunch.
A bunch, Were more than one of you working at the same time
Oh, yeah.
welding?
Right.
So about how long would it take to get one section done?
That I can't answer that.
Can't
That's
answer
been
that
a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Right.
Well, that must have been quite an experience.
It was quite an experience.
Did you live? You find your own quarters, or did they provide
No,
for
we
you?
found our own quarters.
You did.
Right.
So you roomed with other workers, other union.
Actually, I rode the bus,
Rode the bus.
streetcar bus.
I see. So, was it 8-hour days?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So you welded the, well, did you get out then when Max came home, or?
At the end of the war, our jobs were terminated.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
So then you met.
And we had a small child, daughter,
Oh,
that lived with my parents during the time.
during all this time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. That was. So your parents were in Concordia.
They lived in Topeka.
In
at the
Topeka.
time. Mhm.
Were you able to go back on the weekends, or?
Occasionally, yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, that must have been very difficult. So then, when Max got out of the service, then you came pretty soon to Wamego then?
Right.
Uh-huh.
Right.
You've been here ever since. What have you done
Yeah.
since, Anna Mary?
Well, after raising 2 daughters, or in the process, I went to work for the Manhattan Police Department.
Manhattan Police Department.
Right. As a dispatcher.
Oh, uh-huh. And then what?
And then, after being a dispatcher for 10 years, they opened up the application for women to be a police officer, and I applied and was accepted. And for 13 and a half years, I was a police officer with the Riley County Police Department, and I retired from there.
Uh-huh. You must have been one of the first women police officers
I was the first woman that was hired
in this county,
in Riley County.
in Riley County.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Well, Max and Anna Mary, this has been an interesting story about World War II times, and you're the first civilian worker that I've been able to interview so far. So it's a happy experience for me to get your story on here.
Thank you.